Good morning everybody, it's Jennifer with creativecricketdesigns.blogspot.com, and today we're going to be doing a 12 by 12 layout using the Echo Park Winter Park paper pack. So we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm starting out with a piece of 12 by 12 navy cardstock, and I have a couple different pieces that we're going to be using today, and we're actually going to be covering up all of the navy. So you could use pink if you wanted, whatever, it doesn't matter, you're not going to see any of this. So what we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to be covering up my cute little snowman, but luckily I bought 2 packs, so I will have that. And I believe if you go to echopark.com or even on eBay, they sell the sheets, single sheets of it. So if you do find a piece that you really like, you will be able to buy a separate sheet of it. So you could stock up if you wanted. Buy a couple of them. So this, I have this piece which I forgot to measure, which is 2.5 inches by 12. And then I just have a piece of torn white cardstock. Just going to go on my layout. First, I'm going to put this piece in. Here's another piece of that paper, and it's going to go about right there. So we're going to go ahead and get that adhered as well, so we can build on top of the layers here. The cartridge that I used today are 2 of them. I used the Winter Woodland cartridge and the Winter Frolic cartridge. We're going to go ahead, get that adhered. Okay, then this is going to go on top of those 2. I want to make it just right, so let me grab one of my houses. Okay, if we just center it right along the top line, should be good. I don't want too much room, but I need enough room for my top designs here. I want to cover just a little bit of that top piece. And whatever's hanging over, we'll just cut off. Okay, so that's the top of my layout. So that's what we're going to work with now. What I have is a bunch of little houses, okay, that are going to go along the top. There should be, I believe, 8 in total. Okay, these are from the Winter Woodlands cartridge, and I have a church. And they are all cut at 2 3/4 inches with all of their beautiful layers. And I was like, oh, this is going to be a challenge. It actually wasn't too bad. So, I was able to do all of their decorating of them and all their little layers without having any problems at all. And if you are ever using your Cricut and you're finding that your cuts just look very uncrisp, I guess you could say, where, sorry, it's like every little piece is tearing, use your multi-cut feature that's on your Cricut. Multi-cut does not mean it's going to cut your image out several times. It's going to cut over the same image over and over. You have 2, 3, and 4 times. Usually 2 times works just fine, but maybe if you're using a thicker cardstock, you may want to do it 3 times, but 2 times usually works. I mean, like chipboard or something, you may want to do more times, but and that gives you more crisp looks, a crisp look, especially if you have an older mat and you just haven't had the time to go to the store or don't feel like buying a new one. Using the multi-cut feature works wonders for that. Okay, so we're getting all of our houses on here, and I used building, they're actually called buildings on the cartridge. I used building number 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay. One more. And in the cartridge, they're showing a lot with pink and brown, but that doesn't go with my layout here. So I just chose my own colors. Used pattern cardstock on this house, which is also from this Echo Park set. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and build up our bottom, which is more paper. I just take like a couple 2-3 inch pieces of white cardstock, and I just cut or tear towards me on the bottom, and that gives me my snow look. Okay, that's all I do. And then I ink the edges. You can use Tim Holtz ink, or you can use the Cat's Eye color box chalk. This is the one that I use, this lighter blue in here. Then I'm going to line up my snow one end to the other, just like that. Okay. Then I have 2 photo mats, which I also used this is from Echo Park paper as well. And we're going to go ahead and get these adhered. The navy piece is 4 1/4 by 6 1/4. The red piece is 4 by 6. And then these, I just kind of worked. It's going to be 6 inches long. And I think this piece was like 1 3/4 inch, and this is like 1.85. There's a little problem with it. As you can see, it's not very even, but that's okay because the picture's going to cover it. And what happened is I tried to use measurements, and I didn't keep it proportionate, so it kind of looks cattywampus, but I'm not going to worry about it because it's going to get covered anyway. And now I know, don't do it that way. Make sure that you choose the keep proportionate button. Okay, so then my other photo is going to go on this side. And then my title is going to go right down here. And here's my title, and it's Home for the Holidays. And I have a brother that comes from Green Bay, so he'll be home for the holidays. And on this, let's see, we probably just can use our ATG. Okay, so there is another Christmas layout using the Winter Woodlands cartridge and using the Winter Frolic. The houses are on Winter Woodlands, and the buildings are on page 42, 43, 44, and 45. And for my Home for the Holidays is on the Winter Frolic cartridge, which is page 63. And I used the shadow and then the wording. Okay, so I thank you very much for watching, and y'all have a great day.